Today's gonna be a little chatty get ready with me, and I think a first impressions for the most part, with a few things thrown in that I have used before. This was requested that I do a video all on drugstore stuff, and I've picked up some things that I didn't have, some things that are new to the drugstore, and then some replacements of some favorites. There's just a whole bunch of different things, but everything is drugstore. I'll even try, can't promise, but I will try to keep even the brushes either drugstore specifically or drugstore price point, so maybe you can't buy them at the drugstore, but they are certainly in the same price range. All right, let's get started. So I've loved Maybelline Superstay Foundation. I can't remember why I didn't mention it in my Holy Grail foundations. Probably because I think I've run out of it. I didn't have it to hand. They've come out with a new one, the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin, Skin Transforming Foundation. Apparently the longer you wear it, or the more often you wear it, it improves your skin. I don't know. We won't know about that because I'm just wearing it for the first time. I got it in the shade Ivory. Let's hope it works. Otherwise, I will have to try something else. So it's thickish. I'm gonna dot that. Let me get my mirror. Dot that. I've had a few breakouts recently, I think. It has to do, and my skin's gotten really dry on top of that. I think it's because I started using the Pixie Glow Tonic instead of the liquid gold, and my face does not like it, apparently. I got a little aggressive in the glycolic acid toner. I should just stick with what was working. That's a whole separate video. I will be doing a skincare routine video soon. I'm kind of waiting for the seasons to fully change before I do that. So this is blending in, I think, really nicely. It looked like it might have been a little too warm to begin with, but it's blending in really nicely. Doesn't smell particularly good or bad. It really doesn't have much of an odor. It's kind of on the thicker side though. I feel like it's not blending as well as I'd like. I did moisturize ahead of time with my Colleen Rothschild, this is not drugstore, sorry, Sheer Renewal Cream. And I've been trying this new under eye moisturizer, Skin Owl Eye Plus. I'm not sure how I feel about that one either. I know I don't like it as much as my Colleen Rothschild, that's for sure. I'm gonna add a teeny bit more to this area. The area that got lasered, that's supposed to be all clear and beautiful, that I don't think looks any different at all. Okay. I'm gonna go on the record here and say that if you have dry skin, I don't think this is gonna do it for you. If you have oily skin, you might love this. This is a very, it feels dry to me. Even though that's my, I mean, it's a long wearing foundation, so they tend to be more drier. As far as drugstore concealers go, my favorite is still the Maybelline Fit Me. I'll use one shade for under the eyes. I think this is 15. And a different shade for blemishes, of which there are still several, including one at the end of my nose. Never in all my years, all 42 of them, never ever I had a zit on the end of my nose. Just call me Rudolph. Oh, and I forgot to say I was using a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I'm just gonna kind of pat that in. Like so. Actually, I'm gonna use my finger. I lied. Yeah, I would say this foundation is nothing to write home about. Skip it. There are better drugstore options, but I'm glad I tried it. But again, that's for me and my dry skin tone, and I don't like a matte finish, which this appears somewhat to be, so. To set it, I am using, this is a drugstore brand, it's just not a United States one. It's the Bourjois Healthy Balance Powder in the shade Vanilla. And I am going to use a Real Techniques blush brush. Just to... Now, I know you're probably saying, why are you setting it if it's already feeling dry? To me, I feel like if I don't have this layer of powder over it, then anything I put on top, like bronzer, blush, whatever, goes on a little streaky. So this is more just to blend the next layer. Yeah, I don't know how to like it, but we'll work with it. Okay, bronzer. So my go-to bronzer, actually there's a couple options, but this is what I reached for. They're both by e.l.f. This is the golden something, golden bronzer. It's a little more subtle, and I'm gonna use that same big blush brush and swirl it around in all the colors. I've been using this on and off for my entire YouTube career and then some. It's great for just to generally warm everything up, give it a nice glow. I think I'm not quite as bronzed up as I'd like to be. Actually, yes I am. I'll just dip a little more on this side. Okay, we got that going. Now, very excited about this. This used to be one of my favorite highlighters and I broke it and I didn't replace it. And it's the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer of all things in Reserve Your Cabana. And I'm gonna use a Sonia Kashuk stippling brush and just sweep it on the cheeks. I have to say this finish, to me, of all the drugstore highlighters I've tried, this finish and color is most similar to the Kevyn Aucoin Celestial Powder in Candlelit. This is such a great highlighter for the drugstore, and period. It's just a great highlighter. I wish it weren't so prone to breakage. It's very fragile. I'm going across the Cupid's bow, a little bit in the middle here, and then I'm just gonna swirl it over each eye. I don't know why, I do this sometimes. I think I saw Fleur do this in a video and I was like, that looks like a great idea. Now for blush, this is a drugstore price point. It's the Makeup Geek blush in Honeymoon. I have talked about this ad nauseum. I cannot get enough of it. I love it. I mean, it's so pretty. It's just gorgeous. Alrighty, face is done. Now, slight problem. I don't have a drugstore eyebrow pencil, but I do have an eyebrow powder that I love that I never show you guys because it's discontinued, which is mean. So I will show you the powder, and if you can find something like it, it's from Sally Girl from way back when. I have stockpiled this, and it's just a two different shades of blonde, and I love it. And I just stopped using it in videos because I thought it'd be slightly cruel to show you an amazing product that you can't get anymore, but I need it. I don't have any other options. I have heard that Maybelline makes a great wind-up one, twist-up one, and I used to use that one a lot, but I used to also break it. And then I'm gonna put it all in place with NYX or NYX Tinted Brow Mascara, which is available at my grocery store. And it's on the drugstore side of Ulta, so I think that counts, yeah. It's actually carried at CVS now too, so that's most definitely the drugstore. Alrighty, we are moving along. Using my favorite primer, high-end or low-end, it's just my favorite eye primer. It's the Fergie Wet n Wild primer. Just put a dot on each eyeball. Sorry, I'm looking over there, guys. I should move my mirror a little bit to see you. Oops, got some on the eyebrow. Oh well. These things happen. I have changed the shape of my nails. And when I say I mean my nail technician has done it. I'm going for more of the oval look. A few of you noticed it in some Instagram pictures. My regular nail tech opened her own place and didn't tell me. I just showed up for an appointment and she wasn't there. So I'm a little miffed, but there's someone else at the salon that's doing a great job. Okay, so I have decided to try this L'Oreal Quad, the Color Eyeshadow Quad in Good Luck Charm, because I need another set of neutral eyeshadows just desperately. I don't, but anyway, I'm gonna pretty much go in the order. So this is gonna go on the lid, this is gonna go on the crease. I'll use this to darken it up a little bit. I think I'll put this in the inner corner. I'm not gonna put that on the brow bone. It looks like it's very shimmery. But on top of that, I picked up this e.l.f. what is it called? e.l.f. Smudge Pot. It's like this barely there kind of pink shade in Ain't That Sweet. And I'm just gonna buff that on with another Real Techniques brush. Because I love using Real Techniques brushes with cream shadows because it's a synthetic brush that's easy to wash. And this is the Deluxe Crease Brush. Swirl it on and then pat it on the lid. This is a beautiful shade. I'm gonna slouch so I'm in the shot. Not a lot of pigmentation here, but it's not a particularly pigmented color either. Okay, this is, I think it's actually a concealer brush from the Coastal Scents pearl-handled travel set, I think it's called. They're very inexpensive. I'm just using that to pat the light pink color that I showed you, this largest shade there, all over the lid and on top of the cream shadow. I'm gonna say that in the camera, this looks almost like a duochrome finish. I don't know if it's picking up on film, but in the viewfinder, this is an interesting color combination. And then before I move on to anything else, I'm gonna do my inner corner with this basically white, very bright. Yep, it's white and bright. I'm gonna take this filthy, sorry, to clean my brushes. It's a Sigma blending brush, E25. I'm gonna take that lightest of the brown shades and put that in a crease. And really tap it off a lot first. Just, I say this every time, but I gently close and tip back so I can really see where that crease is. Because it's really not the crease, but the socket line. Basically where I can stick that tip of the brush in the deepest. If I put it on the actual part of my lid where it creases, it'd be much lower and I would look like I have even smaller lids than I really do because they're already small enough. I'm not blessed with giant eyes. I'm gonna blend it out with my giant favorite Coastal Scents brush. I mean, I have to say, I could really just leave it like this. I could. I won't, but I could. I'm gonna try I wanna try the whole palette. So I'm gonna try use one of these little Real Techniques duo fiber brushes and use that matte brown shade just a little bit in the corner. Then I'm gonna go back with this little Sonia Kashuk smudger brush and get that first lighter brown and just run that under the eye. For eyeliner, I would use this whether it was a high-end video or a low-end video. Low-end, that sounds terrible. Drugstore, Rimmel, eye, kohl, kajal, whatever, Scandalize in brown. And I always just run it along the lash line. I don't do anything wingy or funky. All right, I'm gonna curl my lashes and slap on some mascara and I'll be right back. The mascara I'm gonna use is another favorite that I've been using for a while, by the way. It's the Maybelline Supersizer. Is it Maybelline? Oops, sorry, CoverGirl Supersizer. Love that, but I'm gonna do that off camera and I'll be right back. Alrighty, that is all done, the face, and I'm just gonna set everything with the remnants of my L'Oreal Infallible makeup extender. I will say that if I had it, I would use the NYX one, the dewy version one, because they want a little more shine to my face, for want of a better phrase. And for a drugstore, this is like 20 bucks. I mean, this is ridiculous. You could basically, it's within spitting distance of Urban Decay, so it works great. It's just really expensive for a drugstore product, I think. Now for lips, it's hard to say my favorite, but probably one of my top 2 lipstick options from the drugstore are the Milani lipsticks, and this is in the shade Matte Blissful that I got turned on to by Erin Busby. She wore this at her mother-in-law's funeral. That's not what I should remember from that day, but that's what sticks in my head is how good she looked at the funeral. I know, inappropriate. But she did. She looked like Grace Kelly. Very elegant. Alrighty, let's take the hair down and see what we have. I had my hair done yesterday, had her do it really ashy, and we ended up getting some purple streaks in there, so which I told her to leave. She wanted to fix that, but I kind of want purple hair. So some subtle purple around the hairline. It will fade, but if you look really closely, it's there. Such a rebel. All right, that is my drugstore get ready with me look. I would say if you have dry skin, you might take a pass on the foundation, but everything else I use, the standouts, I'd say, these are very pigmented and very blendable, these L'Oreal shadows, and this is just gorgeous. I need to go back and buy the bronzer too. These are beautiful. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you want to see next. I am taking requests. I'm running out of ideas, guys, help me out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. I'm gonna do my best, and I'm gonna do some swatching and hold some stuff up, and let's hope that you get a really good impression of my favorite, I don't wanna call them neutral blushes,